what's your name? Step into the ring of fame. Gene Genie calling your game. Cal Halbert in the Hall of Flames. Masks and capes, they're all the same. Heels and faces play the game. Pile driver, heartbeats claim. Cal will put you in the frame. What's your gimmick? Let it show. Genie wants to know. In the spotlight, let it flow. Cal Halbert, steal the show.
Hello and welcome to What's Your Gimmick, the podcast where I, Cal Halbert, aka the Great Gene Genie, ask my friends the ultimate questions on their rise through their potential wrestling careers. On the show today, I have stand-up comedian, good friend, and the voice of ICW, Billy Kirkwood's on the show. Hi, Billy.
Yes.
Here
It's called the Kirkwood Pop. It's called the Kirkwood Pop. It is. It's just me clapping.
Well, before we go any further, Billy, otherwise it's going to be a very quick interview. Are you a wrestling fan?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh,
I have been
God for that.
I have been a wrestling fan as far as I can remember. Oh God, it's got to be like I must have been 3 or 4 the first time I saw wrestling.
Wow.
Maybe even younger. It was a regular in the house with Mum. That's all I've got to say. Mum was a big fan of wrestling. I'm old enough to remember. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember the British wrestling. Cal.
Oh yeah. Old
enough to remember. That must
Shirley
have been the tail end of it. Yeah. Oh, God. Although I'd say that I've got an appreciation of it. But yeah. So I'm early single figures wrestling fan. So I've probably been like 40 years. Oh God, 40 years or something. It's going to be up there.
I'll edit that out. Don't you worry. We're all good. I can edit that out for you. We're absolutely fine. So you've been a wrestling fan since you're single figures. What was your first exposure, other than the British wrestling? What was your first exposure to the American wrestling that we know now?
Well, you know something? I was thinking about, something, brother? That was nearly a Hulk Hogan. I was just thinking about this the other day. I think I had like a vague awareness of it. Because there must have been a period there where I just didn't get access to wrestling.
Yeah.
Like just because it was off, it was off UK TVs. So you don't really understand what's going on. And then I'm pretty sure, in late primary school, a friend of mine let me borrow the videotape of WrestleMania 3.
Wow.
And
I would not have lent that to anybody.
Oh, he lent me it, and I was like, what the hell is this? It's just like a massive stadium. Like even that opening shot of WrestleMania 3, I remember that blowing my mind. And every match I just thought was amazing. So I'm not sure what this might have been. This might have been around the burst of tapes getting released on, around about SummerSlam 92 maybe, or SummerSlam 92. Did they call it SummerSlam 92? Maybe did. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I've done that a whole bunch recently. I've convinced myself that SummerSlam had numbers next to it at one point. It didn't. It's absolutely hot. It's absolutely hot shit.
It's years, yeah. My first pay-per-view, I've said this on a previous podcast, so you can go back and listen to, my friends. But my first pay-per-view was SummerSlam 1990.
Yeah,
which was the double main event, Hogan and Big Boss Man versus Earthquake and Dino Bravo. And then the main event was Ravishing Rick Rude against the Ultimate Warrior in a steel cage. That was on Silvervision VHS.
What a time. What a time.
One of my I don't know what you'd call it, but in school I would regularly do the Silvervision body slams, side suplexes, and I would be able to list it all off.
Remember that weird bit where for some reason they got Lord Alfred Hayes to do that voiceover?
Yeah.
Lord Alfred Hayes is someone that I really admire because how did you get a job in American wrestling?
It's like crazy.
It was near the tail end of his career here. He went over there, wrestled for a few years, and the next thing you know, he's on American TV being this, hello, it's me, Lord Alfred Hayes.
It's crazy, isn't it? And he wasn't a lord at all, but he managed to con everybody over there that he was a lord, because for some random reason, he had a picture with him, and I think it was Prince Philip.
All right, okay. It's probably been Prince Philip. Oh, Prince Philip. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I think they were just shaking hands. So then he went, oh, yeah, I'm a lord. And then
give that a wash.
All right. Okay,
That's all I'm going to say. I hope Lord Alfred never went to the island. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. You never know. You never know. Who
So,
is your favorite wrestler of all time, Billy?
oh man, like it's always been seasonal for me. I
Okay.
think it's always been kind of seasonal. Some people are going to be outraged at this, but as the epitome of Americana, I loved Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Who did?
I loved Hulk Hogan growing up. Now, I know when you look at it, Hogan's kind of stint as that, yellow and red guy was only really like 6 or 7 years or something when you really think about it, which is mind blowing because you think you've just mentioned it there, SummerSlam 90, and then SummerSlam like 95. So there's a 5 year difference, and it's a completely different scene. Like it is mental. So whenever anyone goes like, wrestling doesn't evolve, like God, it does. Yes, within a couple of years. I mean, somebody told me the other day, like Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank or something like 10 years ago.
Shut up. Really?
It's up there. It's like it's at least
Wow.
8. It's at least 8.
My God. Yeah. Well, yeah,
That's
it
mental.
would be that is yeah.
That's mental, isn't it?
That's
So
disgusting.
I go through my favorites. If you do Mount Rushmore, Hogan for what he was during that period could not have been bigger. Could not have been more. I mean, God, even if you go back to WrestleMania 1, you go back to WrestleMania 2, the crossover with all the, with Cyndi Lauper being there, just the crowd losing they'd never seen anyone like this, apart from superstar Billy Graham, but we'll move on. So, but I loved Hulk Hogan. My other favorites are guys Mick Foley. I'm a huge Mick
Yeah.
Foley fan back in the day.
In all three forms?
Oh, 100%.
All four forms.
Although I definitely have a soft spot for Cactus Jack. A little bit of a Mankind guy myself. A little bit of
Oh,
a
right. Okay.
Mankind guy. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think he gets enough credit for Mankind, to be honest.
I don't think he does. Yeah.
I don't think he does, despite the fact that it would probably what I think was a jump for me. It felt like you hit wrestling puberty round about Mankind. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is where we are.
I
Even some of
never appreciated Dude Love. No, I never. It wasn't for me.
I thought it was I thought it was fun and it was silly. Dude Love as a face doesn't work, but you see, Dude Love as a guy that has lost his mind, has lost his mother freaking mind. I kind of appreciated it. Like he is taking the piss out of us. You know what I mean? I kind of appreciated that as like a heel thing. He's still a Mick Foley, but he's making fun of Shawn Michaels. He's making fun of Steve Austin, who hated Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
It just I kind of liked it, but his Dude Love is just like kind of like a babyface, ridiculous, Mick. What were you thinking?
No. It's
Not
not
with
my
that
cup of
horse.
tea.
No chance. No chance.
Okay, so you've got Hulk Hogan, Mick Foley's on your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, we got to put Undertaker on there as well.
Baker's on there.
But then I kind of jump about a little bit. Like I start jumping into the modern era with guys like this. I absolutely love Seth Rollins, and CM Punk is an absolute favorite of mine. But then there's all the guys
I will interject just here. Did you watch the CM Punk Drew McIntyre Bad Blood Hell in a Cell match?
Loved it.
So did I.
Loved it.
I felt like Bad Blood peaked in the first match. And then,
yeah.
And then I was like, I'm done now. That was sensational.
That's it. I thought it was amazing. CM Punk, when he came back to AEW, the man can tell a story.
Yeah.
The man can, and that's what we watch for. Yes, I was one of the guys that got excited at Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7. I know they had to move it from a stadium to a smaller arena, but I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't give a shit. I want to watch it. That's it.
I loved it. I love a bit of story. I love a bit of story. These also guys. I mean, I've got to say Roman Reigns and all these type of guys always jump in. Big Stan Lariat Hansen. I have lost an afternoon to watching videos of Stan Hansen clothesline people, lariat people in Japan. Like it is. I love it. I love it. And they don't make them like that anymore.
No.
The closest they've done is JBL. So, but then on the other side of it, I loved Sandman over in ECW. He was one of my guys. WCW. How can you not talk about Sting?
Yeah.
How can you not? And can I say as well, Lex Luger, apart from obviously what happened later life, issues he had before he was in a wheelchair and what have you. We'll move on.
Yeah.
When's Lex Luger getting his flowers?
Yeah.
When's like I never remember seeing a bad Lex Luger match, particularly when he was in there with the good guys, and it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango.
Can I
Not a
think
good looking boy. Always drove me
No.
nuts that. It's like they would say things like, "Oh, Lex Luger, the narcissist, isn't he gorgeous?" The total package is like, yeah, but he's got that little kind of Moses like face.
The Moses like
You know, he's
he does, yeah, you are right. Yeah, yeah.
got like chiseled physique, but he's got a horrible face, like a knee.
Yeah,
He's got a face like a knee. So, but I think Lex Luger should have got his flowers by now. So those are I could bore you to death. It's a seasonal thing. Like there was one point I loved Bunkhouse Bucks tag team with Dick Slater. They were like my favorite tag team at the time. And then I'm all over the place with that kind of stuff, man. So I don't think I have a favorite wrestler outright, like the guy that I will go to. But yeah, you're gonna throw, you know, Hogan in the mix. You got to throw Flair as our performer in the ring, 100% outside it. Go fuck yourself, Ric Flair. That's just my take on it. And if Ric Flair were here,
I agree.
I'd chop him on his little jelly chest. Bang.
You know when he returned and you start aging and he's lost all the muscle tone and his arms were hanging over, so it looked like he was wearing a fucking t-shirt, and you just go, come on, Rick, give up now, mate. Like, just be a mouthy manager or something like that. Don't get in the ring again. Come on.
I'll be honest, I just don't want him anywhere near the. I don't want him on camera. He's a guy, bless it, and I know it's going to come to us all, but you see like the difference between like 5 years. Like when he stopped wrestling and then when he was just kind of Jesus, man.
It was a sharp downhill, that, wasn't it? Very sharp downhill.
Fucking hell. And then he's like, oh, I'll get in and take a back body drop. It's like, someone say no.
Our next question is what's your Mount Rushmore? But you've pretty much covered it with Hogan, Foley.
Mate, it's no Mount Rushmore. Mine's is a coastline.
Yeah,
I just think it just keeps going. Do you know what I mean?
Hollywood Walk of Fame with Billy.
Yeah,
going on.
Yeah, it's. Do you know the thing is, there would always be names that come on and off and all that, and it's for different reasons that I'd love them. But then as a wrestling fan, with the amount of time I've been a wrestling fan, I would never want to stay in one place. Do you know what I mean? I mean, just look at what the guys are doing on in NXT just now. Yeah. Look at what the guys are doing in AEW. Man, it's phenomenal. Like, we are so lucky. Like, if I could go back to like the 14-year-old version of me and go, mate, you've no idea what's coming.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to, you've no idea what's coming. Like trying to watch Monday Night Raw on a dodgy skybox. Watching, I used to watch the German feed of WCW. I was that guy.
That's how hardcore you were.
German commentary, but I'd fucking watch it anyway. I didn't care.
For some reason, that's just. Do you remember when Twitter first came out? Did you ever see this? Someone set up a Twitter handle for the Spanish announce table because it was always the Spanish announce table that got smashed through. And someone would always tweet going, for fuck's sake. Every single time it was ow. Yeah, it was. It was just like ow. Constantly, every pay-per-view, people would be like, we need to follow the Spanish announce table on Twitter. We need to see what he's gonna say.
I remember at least every ICW show, there was a period when I kept pitching the Gallic announce table. And we'd have people going through it, and it just always got like, we'd have to hire 2 people, we'd have to get you. It's not worth it. It's not worth a gag that only you might find funny. It's like, well, that's a secret of comedy. We got to take the chance.
Exactly. You'll never know. You'll never know.
You never know. I think I can talk them round. I genuinely think I can talk them round. No. So my Mount Rushmore, you are quite right, goes on quite a while. Yeah,
do you know it has been a very difficult question for people to answer. Most people can fly off; they'll get the first 3 and go absolutely fine. The 4th one is where they go, I don't know. I've got
because you don't want to mess people out. Like I said all those names, and I did not say John Cena.
Yeah,
and realistically, how can he not be on like the kind of general Mount Rushmore? I mean, and then Sting. Like these guys like that, and it's like they all kind of deserve a place. So it's a really hard one. It's a great question, but it's a really, really hard one. And then then like a sexist pig, I did not mention one female wrestler.
I know
that's off because I mean, God, you think of guys like Oh, Jesus. I mean, Charlotte Flair will one day be up there.
Yeah, yeah.
I would think. I mean, the only thing I find about Charlotte Flair is she's like, what, it's 14-time champion or something, but it's
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
quite
Ballpark.
high. She's crammed a lot into what seems like a short amount of time.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so I always worry is like, see when you've done all that and then you're taking time off, what's next?
Yeah.
What are you got? Is Charlotte Flair going to win the Royal Rumble? Is she going to be the one that chases the title? You won it 14 times. So,
Already. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like it's not much of a chase, but get in a storyline. I've still wanted to pitch my idea for a match in WWE, which they have never done, and I think that they could do it.
Okay.
All right, here it is. For
Right.
the first time ever in a millennium, in a generation, the marquee reads Blair versus Rhodes.
Blair versus Rhodes.
Yeah. Charlotte Flair versus Cody Rhodes,
Mm.
World Heavyweight Championship. If there's anyone that could do it, it would be Charlotte. And if there's
Yeah.
anyone that could do it, it would be Cody.
I like that. That's great.
But if they're ever going to do it, they're ever going to pull the trigger on a crossover. And do I think, but then by the same respects, everyone goes, what, you think a woman should win the World Heavyweight title? Probably not, I guess, because it's different divisions. What a match.
Rey Mysterio's won the world heavyweight, and he's not a heavyweight. Do you know?
Exactly. That's a good point. But then people are going to then turn around and go, oh, but you're saying Cody Rhodes should be able to win the women's title? Well, no, I'm not. But one has a lineage that goes back 20 years. One has a lineage that goes back like 80 years.
Yeah.
So come on. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's all I'm saying. But for a match, fucking let's make it happen.
Why
Imagine they
not?
could tear it up.
That'd be great.
Put that one on a Crown Jewel. Yeah, you want to do that, will you? Yeah, just saying.
What's your favorite match of all time, Billy?
Oh man, that's another tricky one because I love a story.
Yeah.
I do love a story. And God, I don't think I have like an individual match because I love matches for loads of different reasons. Like I love chaos, like Nasty Boys versus the Legion of Doom at SummerSlam 91, the Madison Square Garden street fight. It's just perfect 20 minutes of mayhem and then a title change stands.
Yeah.
So but I do love a story.
Mm-hmm.
I do love a story, and oh God, it has to be said. I mean, I guess like, and it can be my favorite. It can be my favorite, but something like Hogan versus Andre at WrestleMania 3, purely because it's the first time Andre had ever turned heel.
Yeah,
and it felt like it was kind of game changing.
Iconic,
because everyone was watching it in North America, everyone was watching it around the world. Everyone knew who Andre the Giant was, whether you were a wrestling fan or not. And Hogan representing pretty much the future of wrestling at that time. Like, if he doesn't win, then Hulkamania's dead, and wrestling will continue. Maybe so it's such a big thing. So that would definitely be up there. But favorite match of all time, such a fucking good question.
It's hard. I'll give you mine, but I'm a big Guerrero man. Big Eddie Guerrero man. He was my guy all the way through it. I was like, Eddie Guerrero, he can do everything. He's my guy. One of my favorite matches is the Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, WrestleMania 20, where Guerrero retains, one of the very few guys to retain at Mania. Another one is the is it Survivor Series? I want to say Survivor Series. Triple threat tag match. Los Guerreros, Kurt Angle, and somebody else. And Edge and Rey Mysterio. Triple threat tag match for the titles where the Guerreros win. Love that match so much.
Yeah.
But there's no huge story about it. It was just SmackDown 6 getting into a match together where it's going to be great. I know it's going to be great because it's the SmackDown 6. So, but there's so, and actually the Jey Uso Bron Breakker Intercontinental title.
Very good.
Incredible. What an incredible match.
Very good.
So underrated. And I'm like, I don't think I can put that in my top matches of all time, but
it's a tricky one, isn't it?
I was glued watching that. Like, what, Monday Night Raw match is one of your favorite? Yeah, I think so.
I think you almost feel like it's going to be a match that's like beyond 5 or 6 years old. Do you know what I mean? It feels like it needs to be like a little older. I have to say, Punk versus MJF was really good because they told a fantastic story going into that one. And I thought it was a good match, and it was a slow pace, and it was a deliberate pace, and it was very, very good. Oh God. Do you know, I might have to say TLC.
TLC.
Maybe we'll go for TLC as one of like just a spectacle.
Which one? First one.
First one, because it feels like you are watching a moment in time. Like they're never going to be able to do this again.
Nah.
This will never happen again.
No.
And I'm right to a certain degree because I don't think any other TLC match has ever come close to it.
I agree. Completely agree.
Even when they've had an entire pay-per-view about it. So many matches like that. So it's hard for me to pick. I think it's almost impossible. Like I say, these matches in there. Do you know, you mentioned Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar, No Way Out.
Love that. I cried.
I think because, fuck me, one of the wee guys has won a title.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You know, and we hadn't seen...
And he beat the biggest guy in the world.
And he beat the biggest guy in the world and made it seem... And Brock, because he's amazing, made it seem so legitimate.
Yeah.
So legitimate. But then again, he's always good. Like, I literally watched the Goldberg squash of Brock Lesnar the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it. It makes it seem so legitimate. Yeah, he caught him.
Yeah.
Like, because the match is what, 3 minutes long? It's like, he caught him.
And that's a long match for Goldberg. Do you know?
Yeah, totally. The last thing is he's had better matches. He's had good matches that have been long. There's just not many of them, at all. And we won't talk about Saudi Arabia.
No, let's not talk about that. And people
my favorite Goldberg match is him versus Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam. I fucking love that.
Mine's the Regal match where Regal carries him through the whole match. It's and that's another guy, William Regal. I've never not enjoyed a William Regal match.
Yes. So many good. He had so many good ones against that guy we don't talk about anymore.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'd always enjoyed William Regal. I mean, the first time I was exposed to him was in WCW.
Yeah.
Mostly in German. Which I don't know how he would have felt about that. But then when he came to I can remember the Misfire WWE debut. When he came in, he did one match.
Yeah.
And then they repackaged him as the man's man.
Oh, I'm a man.
And then he was gone because he failed a wellness test.
Yeah.
And then he went back to WCW, and then he got let go there. And then he basically went to try and rebuild his career. I think he went into the Priory and he lost weight and he got into shape, and then suddenly got another crack.
Yeah.
Got another crack. Even reading about it in his book about how they basically went, we need to let you go. You need to go and sort yourself out. You don't need this.
Yeah.
Like, I think Jim Ross said, the last thing you need is this.
Yeah.
You know, go and sort it out. And big fan of William Regal. Another one of those guys that went like, he'll get his flowers, but it's a shame he never got the big gold belt.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd have been I love William Regal. Love him.
They gave him so much, because I remember he's one of the few people to, when Stone Cold was at his peak, got a win over Stone Cold Steve Austin, but also got Stone Cold Steve Austin was out and he lay over him and he did the 1, 2, 3, which is in wrestling terms is considered to be a big thing, because when there's no referee there, it's like you could have beat him.
Yeah.
And you could have beat him clean. So it's considered to be apparently quite a big thing, particularly when it's a top guy like Stone Cold. So
yeah.
It's like,
I was unaware of that. Of that. Okay.
Very cool.
That's awesome. And what is your favorite belt of all time?
It's the one that's sitting behind me, Carl. You know that. It is the Eagle Wing. I think my treat to myself after the Fringe this year. It's the belt that Hogan, that Hart, that Warrior held, that Macho Man held, that Andre briefly held. So many iconic names. I've always just thought it's a good looking belt. I've just thought they then turned it into like a bigger version of this that was kind of flat, which everyone thinks is the Eagle Wing belt, and I humbly disagree. I think this is the good one. I don't know, it says World Heavyweight Champion on it in big fucking letters.
Yeah.
I like that. It looks like a world title belt to me.
It does.
I don't like. I tell you that my least favorite is AEW's. I'm not a fan.
No, I don't like it either. I also don't like the new WWE heavyweight, but I appreciate it's the closest we're going to get to the big gold belt. But I hate the huge logo that they've just stamped in the middle of it. You go, looks like something you started making a great belt on WWE 2K, and then gave up halfway through. Sod it up.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It looks like it should be nicer than it is. But I appreciate it. I like this. I don't know why this has never came back. I hate the like you say, the modern belt, the one with the big WWE in the middle of it. I think it's crap. I understand it. I get the side plates thing. Oh, that's very nice and all that. Yeah, sure. I just think it's rubbish. I think it shouldn't be, but I don't necessarily know how I feel about side plates and like putting your name on the belt. I think it's always the title, the person makes the belt. So this is one of my favorites. I would always have loved to have seen it come back, or even somebody to have brought it back as like their version of the belt. Like if Cody ever goes heel,
that's a great shout. Yeah,
starts carrying around this belt or a version of this belt with a white stripe or something. Maybe the globe can be the American Nightmare. You stupid fucking tattoo. Fucking stupid tattoo. He must regret that. I refuse to believe he doesn't regret that. I refuse to believe like he could do something like that. But that's hands down my favorite belt. I also like the tag team belts for this era. Not that I don't like the belts now. Not that I don't like them now. The tag belts having SmackDown are all right. The ones on Raw are all right. The Intercontinental belt, I'm willing to accept that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I hated the one that came after this Intercontinental belt. You know, the one that's just kind of like an oval and it was on a blue strap.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It's not like crap. It didn't even like. It's meant to be quite. Our belt's not meant to be quite eye catching.
So that's what I thought. Like, I don't like the new US belt either, because my favorite belt is
I don't like it either.
The old US from about 2003-4 to about 2020 with the really nice gold trim with the bright red, white, and blue flag on it. That's the US title to me.
Yeah, I like that. It's eye catching. The new one just looks like they just made it up really cool. They made it in Canva.
And not Canva Pro as well.
Not Canva Pro, just the basic one. You put an eagle on it, right? United States on it, it's fine. Poor LA Knight. That's all I'm going to say. Poor LA Knight.
Exactly. I agree. Now, Billy, before we go in and before you start walking up to WWE corporate, couple of things you need to know. No wrestler has died in this world. It's total fantasy booking. No matter what era you join, any wrestler from any era can join you in your era that you are booking. So it's total fantasy booking. So you walk up to WWE corporate, you bang on my front door, which is WWE Creative. I open the door, I tell you to sit down, and my first question is, what's your name?
Jock Scotland.
Jock Scotland.
Jock Scotland.
Nice. Jock Scotland. And where are you billed from, Jock Scotland?
The only place, God's country, Scotland. That's where I'm from.
God's country. So you're not going Glasgow. You're going
No. Why would I do that? That's where Roddy Piper's from. But we'll get to Mr. Piper in a minute.
Okay, and what is your backstory or your origin, Jock Scotland?
Well, banned from the isle of which my birth was for my ruthless bloodlust and desire to bang craniums together. The only place I could find that could possibly pay me for what I do best, and that's to crack skulls open, rip hamstrings straight from the bone, would be the fine land of WWE. I've looked around. I'll take it.
I'm nearly sold already. I don't even ask you anymore. I mean, how do you stand out from other superstars?
I'm Scottish. Enough said. I'm Scottish. I think I always kind of viewed myself as like a version of the APA to start with. Like, nice. I will turn up and batter anyone. But the thing is, the one thing I crave more than anything is something that we've never really had in Scotland. The one thing we can be bought off with is gold. Oh, I have an eye for gold, and there's some pretty belts in WWE held by from skinny wee boys.
Okay, so what is you are Jock Scotland from God's country, Scotland. Yeah, yes. You're obsessed with gold. You've alluded to the APA style battering people, but what is your superstar's look? What's your ring gear? What are you wearing?
Well, I thought about all the iconic looks of the Scottish superstars that have been in WWE over the time. I mean, through just screams Scotland when you look at him. I've got to say, Roddy Piper and what have you with his blue trunks and his wee boots. And we have unfinished business with Mr. Piper. I've got to say, unfinished business.
Are you
But
going to wear a kilt to walk down to the ring?
I think I'm going to wear a kilt to walk down to the ring. It's always iconic, and it will be most likely a classic tartan is what we're going for.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll evolve as the character evolves in the time. I mean, a nice leather kilt, it's easy to wash the blood off. That's the way I look at it. And usually I've got a weapon hidden somewhere. I've got a weapon hidden somewhere. It just can't help myself. If you find it before the bell rings, that's fine. If you don't find it, that's your problem. And, you know,
it's going to happen.
And I could easily hide it anywhere because Jock's probably done some time inside. Pretty confident. Jock's done some time inside. He can hide it anywhere. He's going to be a nightmare. So I think we're going for classic black boots.
Yep.
We're going for classic black boots. We're going for a nice red tartan with a big belt. But then we're going a little, then we're going a little Thor Ragnarok, because if I have a saltire, it'll be drawn with blood on my upper torso. And big bastard earrings. Big bastard earrings.
Big bastard earrings.
Yeah, big bastard earrings.
Are you not going knee or elbow pads? None of that?
No, he doesn't like elbow pads because, quite frankly, he likes hurting somebody. I will have knee pads, though, because people that don't have knee pads are perverts. I've got to say this.
What evidence do you have to this?
But just, look, have you seen them without knee pads?
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair.
Disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. I personally, remember that Cody Rhodes the first time around when we were knee pads? I fucking hated Cody Rhodes. I hate anyone that doesn't wear knee pads. I didn't like, what was his name? Timothy Thatcher. I didn't like Timothy Thatcher when Timothy Thatcher didn't wear knee pads.
Yeah.
Don't like people not wearing knee pads. Very rarely do you see it. Could it annoy someone watching at home? Only me. So I'm going to have knee pads. Definitely going to have knee pads. Most likely with some type of blood symbol like Sonny Bean or something on them. Nice. I think we might go with that. And around my wrist, most likely I've got my blood type. Just in case things get a bit out of hand.
Do you have a signature catchphrase or promo style?
It's definitely going to be loud. Definitely promo style would definitely be loud. But then with a silent, with a bit of a whisper at the end.
Oh, nice.
A bit of a whisper at the end.
So you kind of start in Macho Man loud and merging into a Jake the Snake quietness at the end.
Outright fury. Jock is outraged by everything. Like, he is outraged by the mic being there. He doesn't quite understand what the telly's around. Why would you people be watching? You're sitting there through your screens and you're going to watch me batter this poor wee boy's head in. What is wrong with you? So you know something? I'm going to make sure I take my time doing it so that you are failed as parents, you're failed as a partner, you're going to watch this lesson and you're going to feel this battering I give him for generations. And there'll be some people that think, can I beat Jock? And they're going to ask themselves a question, can I do it? And the answer they'll give themselves is aye, with a sharp intake of breath. You know it's no. See that there, you wee prick.
I'd quite like to see that on a t-shirt, you wee prick. That'll sell a lot.
I think it will.
I think so. Are there any real life inspirations to your superstar, either wrestling or not?
I would think, do you know something about, we've got to talk about Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
We've got to talk about Roddy Piper. I loved Roddy Piper. And there was a name that was not on my Mount Rushmore. I would change that. Can't believe I didn't even think of it. He's up there. Because the promos, there's another guy that could tell a story.
Yeah.
And he got Virgil over, for fuck's sake.
How the hell? Yeah. Genius.
You know, like, he's a guy that was still putting bums in seats 15 years after he retired as a full-time guy. Yeah. You know, even like as end up when we discovered Eric Bischoff was the leader of the NWO, he still cut an amazing promo about, like, when you came to see me, was the road crooked or straight? Was the road crooked or straight? Like a little tiny detail is enough that you go, oh, he doesn't fucking know. Oh, he doesn't fucking know. What the hell is this? So I like that. So in terms of that, he is the epitome of every outraged wrestling fan, I would say. the one that is proper outraged and slightly wants to make a mockery of people making a mockery of wrestling. He is literally, he's very meta, is what we're going to say. When we make fun of wrestling, you know, I heard a phrase years and years ago was, when you love something so much, you see all its faults.
Yeah.
We know all the faults. So
Yeah,
the fact that you even think you can even pick a chink in it or something like that, how fucking dare you?
I know.
How dare you?
I love it. Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. Well, we at Creative, we're very happy with you, Jock Scotland, and you're hired. We think you're great.
Yes! Yes! Cancel the drowning of the children. You can afford to feed them.
You've signed on the dotted line, and it's time for your debut. But which show do you debut on? Is it SmackDown, Raw, NXT? Is it something else? And in what era?
Right, now, I have got to say, I thought about this one long and hard.
Okay.
I love NXT.
Yep.
But I'm going to the red brand.
Oh, Monday Night Raw.
I'm going to Raw. And if I were to pick an era, I would love to pick an era, and that is, I'm not going to mess about. I'm debuting now. I'm debuting now. Because you look at guys like Sheamus, you look at guys like Gunther, Jock fits right in there.
He does.
He fits right in there. Particularly, him and Big Sheamus are going to have a banger.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have
an
absolute banger, those boys.
I'd love to see a 5-star. Well, it will be part of 5-star, but a parking lot brawl between you.
Yeah. He's the guy. I think he's the guy that can proper show, because I imagine him. I mean, we're not basically basing him on my physical appearance, but I'd imagine he's a big unit.
Yeah.
He's a big unit. And I love the idea of, there was a couple of wrestlers that I saw. There was one called is it Joe? It's not Joel Dolce. I've forgotten this guy's name.
Joe Dolce, shut up in your face.
Shut up in your face. Yeah, it's not that guy. But I imagine him as being like somewhere between like a Mad Dog for Sean kind of a character. Like he looks like he's built for causing damage as opposed to being slightly aesthetically pleasing. Like, remember Lars Sullivan before we all went, oh, well, he's got a past.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a broken gentleman. So many levels going on with Mad Lars. But he's kind of in that respect, I would say. But he's got a bit more, I think he's got a bit more dynamic energy. He's got a bit more explosiveness in him. Because at the end of the day, Jock's half his battles with himself. Half his battles with himself. I think he's only happy when he's hitting someone.
Is your standard go-to face or heel?
I think he's definitely starting his heel.
Heel on the day.
I think he's definitely starting his heel, because probably the first person he is going for is I could imagine him and Pete. I could imagine him interjecting himself in the middle of Pete Dunne versus Sheamus.
Yeah.
And beating the crap out the pair of them. So they've got their little feud. And
I'm not breaking a sweat.
Yeah, he has literally interjected himself and brutalized the pair of them, which is a power move on its own, going, yeah, I've declared a stoppage to this. This isn't happening anymore because I've made it happen. You got a problem with it? You come and find me.
Do you have any specific entrance theme or style that you use? Do you come down the ramp? Are you coming from the rafters? Are you coming through the crowd? Are you using vehicles? What's your entrance style?
I think I'm harking back to a bit of Stan Hansen. I think I'm coming through the crowd swinging.
Nice.
Probably a sheep in a lead or something like that. I'm trying to think of what weapons, what weapons would be allowed in the arenas.
A sheep, yeah, a sheep in a lead. That's what you're going to have.
He's coming through the crowd and he's just face palming people.
No.
Like, you want to despise this guy.
Not even plants as well. He's just face planting anyone. Doesn't matter.
Just through the crowd, roughs up the timekeeper, probably slaps Corey Graves a belter as he's passing. What are you going to do about the Graves? Nothing. You're so boring, your hair's trying to escape your head. Shut up.
What style do you embody? Are you a high flyer, a brawler, technician? What are you going for?
Oh, I think he's definitely a brawler. I think he's definitely a power brawler. I'm putting him in there with, if I were to give him a skill set, I'm going to give him like a Stan Hansen's, or maybe a bit of Vader in there, maybe a bit of Vader in there, because people forget how fucking good Vader was as well, man. So I think there's a little bit of that. He's definitely got a good power game. But
That'd be a hell of a match, like Jock Scotland and Vader versus Sheamus and Fit Finlay.
Fucking hook me up. Hook me up. I'd love it. I think because I'm basing him a little off Stan Hansen, he's slightly blind.
Slightly blind.
Slightly blind. Like in terms of see, let's put it this way. See, when he has to jump back into reality after a wrestling match, he always looks somewhat perplexed by what's going. What the fuck do you want? It's one interview. Why? Why do you want an interview? What do you not know about what just happened? I want to know, how do you feel about it? I've got the shit being out of my head.
So how do you engage with your audience through taunts? Are you an engager or an antagonizer?
I think he's going to be an antagonizer. Maybe the point will come where he'll have a catchphrase. Maybe the point where he will, if Daniel Bryan ever comes back to WWE, beats him up because he's like, I'm doing I, as opposed to yes.
Aye, yeah, I'm in.
Cultural appropriation. How dare you? How dare you? You're the ones that only comment with one-word answers. So yeah, I think he's going to be an antagonist to start with. Probably gets on the mic quite a lot and lets the local town team have it. Lets the local celebrity have it. Then will turn his attention to his opponent in some way. It's like, I appreciate waiting. But who stands there waiting for a ball kicking? You should have attacked me when I was on this mic. What's wrong with you?
What is your signature and finishing moves, and what are they called?
Oh, well, I thought about this for a little while, and I think it's going to be the Independence Killer. So, so what it is?
Okay.
What it is Scorpion Death Drop.
Yep.
Into so bang as we bring him back up, him with a cutter, holding on to it, him into a cutter, and then roll him straight around into a DDT. You're done. Three sequence.
Independence Killer. Done.
Independence Killer.
1, 2, 3. Brilliant.
Yes.
What notable weaknesses or vulnerabilities do you have?
Terrified of mushrooms. Anything that grows out the ground isn't a carrot or a tatty. Fucking petrified.
Okay, it's a mushroom match. That's what we're going for. Yeah, mushrooms. That's it. We're not having mushrooms. So yeah, you can't. Oh, that'd be awful. Like the boogeyman coming out with worms, but instead sprinkling mushrooms on your face.
He's just like, fuck this. He's off.
Terrible.
You shouldn't be allowed to bring mushrooms into a ring, referee. That's all I'm saying. What you going to do, man? If Taker's scared of cucumbers,
yeah,
he's scared of mushrooms. If Taker ever wants to come back and has a cucumber and mushrooms on a pole match, we can make that happen. Make a salad.
Salad match.
Salad bowl match.
Salad bowl match.
There we go. Judy Bagwell up there putting the dressing.
Going for it. So we're very pleased with your debut, and we're loving your character and all your promo work. We're loving it, and you're doing a good job on the roster. But what is your ultimate goal? Are you going to be a WrestleMania headliner, a mid-card jobber, a tag specialist, a record setter? What is your ultimate goal?
I want to be the first real Scotsman to win the World's Heavyweight Championship.
Nice.
I'd like to think I'm quietly throwing shade on those that have came before me and what they have realistically failed to achieve. It's not being about the king for a day. You always want to sit in the throne for as long as you can.
100%.
Drew, you almost managed it. Roddy, you never did.
Nah.
So now it's time for Jock's turn.
I'm
renaming America Scotland 2.
Scotland 2. What? Do you have a match type that you're a specialist in?
Well, if we can't have if the Athletic States Commission won't let us have mushrooms on a pole match, I think we've got to have porridge in a cage.
Porridge in a cage.
So, if you will, the base of it is all porridge. So it's very slippy, but he's used to that, and we're just firing each other into the cage. And so you can escape. You can win the match one of two ways. You can escape over the top, or you can eat all the porridge.
That's the only ways out.
There's only two ways. So if someone is beating the crap out of me, oh,
Okay.
handfuls of stuff in.
Eat all the porridge or just go, okay, that's your specialist match. We're very proud of you here at Creative, and we think it's time for you to have your first title match. But you get to choose which pay-per-view do you have your first title match, and which belt are you going for?
Well, I'm always a big believer, and you've got to work your way up.
Yeah.
But I'm going for Survivor Series.
Okay.
Going for Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
And I'm going for the Intercontinental Championship belt.
Intercontinental. And what is it, the white strap Intercontinental or black strap?
Well, I've never seen a red strap. That's all I'm going to say. I've never seen a red strap yet, so I'll change that when I get the belt.
Nice.
But I'm a big fan of the white strap, I've got to say. Big fan of the white strap.
Okay, so you're going for the white strap Intercontinental. Who are you facing for that belt?
Well, do you know something? I was thinking about somebody that's the epitome of WWE from any era.
Yeah.
It's going to be someone that's hugely popular. So I'm wanting to take the belt off Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
Yes.
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Bret
Because
is his belt.
there's always wrestlers I think of with the Intercontinental belt.
Mhm.
And it's Mr. Perfect, it's Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels. Those are my three guys that I always think of with that belt there.
Yeah.
Being the Intercontinental Champion. Fuck yes. You beat one of those guys, you're on the road to the title.
Mine's Honky Tonk Man, depressedly. I'm the one that I think of straight away. Insco is Honky Tonk Man. That's his belt.
Greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Greatest of all time.
So you are beating Bret Hart at Madison Square Garden at Survivor Series for the Intercontinental title. And
I think Jock will go down well in Madison Square Garden. I think it's going to be like Sid versus Shawn.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think you've got it. You've got it. You are the champion. Which current or previous storyline would you have improved by being a part of?
So I was having a right think about this, and I've got to admit, Stone Cold's battle against the corporation. It would be because he never had an ally. He never had an ally.
Yeah, never. They were all scared of losing their jobs.
They were all scared. They're all scared of losing their jobs. But I think about Canadian Stampede.
Yeah.
And the run up to Canadian Stampede.
Yeah.
And they're just being that last place and thinking, Jock has never really shown any alliance. It's the face turn.
Nice.
It's the face turn to help Stone Cold Steve Austin on the understanding, I won the belt, mate.
Yeah. Listen, Austin.
I won the belt. I'll have your back more than any of these pansies will. What's Gold Dust going to do if somebody pulls a knife? Hee-haw. Right? And Shamrock can barely see his feet over his tits. So your boy here's got your back. Your boy here's got your back. On the understanding that once we finish with these Canadian clowns, I want my shot. I want my shot at the belt. Well, you go for it, son. You go for it. I want my belt.
Fair. You win the King of the Ring in your 5th year with the company. It's your most notable achievement since your Intercontinental title belt win. How do you deal with it? Do you embrace the King gimmick, or do you want people to see you as a serious contender for the title?
Well, last King of Scotland does have a ring to it, I guess.
It is good.
Does have a ring to it. But I've always kind of believed that you want to go up, so you want to be challenging for the belt.
Yeah.
You want to be challenging for the belt. All due respect to King Haku and King Mabel, and all the other great kings that have came before. But I believe I'm taking my shot to challenge for the title. I'm taking my shot to challenge for the title.
You're now King of the Ring. You're rising through the roster. We think you're doing a great job, and we're going to give you a chance to headline WrestleMania and contend for any belt you wish for by winning the Royal Rumble. But what number do you enter to win the 30-man match?
I'm going number 2.
Number 2.
I think I'm going number 2.
Nice.
because
Rumble.
just enough to make you think, oh fuck, he's definitely winning it. But also like, oh, he's going to be a bit of a nightmare to get rid of for the first part of the match.
Who
So,
pulls number one then? Starting rich. You.
But if I could pick anyone, I'd think me versus Bulldog.
Bulldog. Oh, nice. Bulldog.
Scotland versus England.
Nice.
What a way to kick it off, man. What a way to kick it off.
Is Rumble in the UK?
Oh, man, imagine that would be a riot.
Yeah, we've decided this Rumble's at Wembley. We're having that now.
Oh, my God. What a riot. What an absolute riot. I think that'd be so much fun as well, because the first couple of people and they just kind of, just like me and Bulldog probably grab them and chuck them out because they're in the way.
Yeah,
I like getting away in a good old fashioned fight, and they might be that begrudging bit where maybe the numbers get the better of us, and we have to fight side by side.
Yeah,
very briefly, but I think that would be who I'd want, because man, who didn't love Davy Boy? Of
course,
I fucking loved Bulldog growing up, and it was always a shame that he never got further. Do you know what I mean? Like he won the big belt, and then his demons got the better of him, and he got Shawn Michaels out of there.
Yeah,
and then he started hanging about with midgets on a beach in WCW.
You do win the Royal Rumble, but who are you with in the final four? It's yourself, right. Jock Scotland.
So I can have anyone from any era.
Yep.
All right, okay.
Jock Scotland came in at number 2. Who are your other 3?
We're in there. Michaels.
Michaels is there. What number does he come in at?
Michaels comes in about I think he comes in at a healthy 20-ish.
Okay.
20, I would say. So I was from any era.
Yeah.
I'm going Michaels. I'm going Hogan.
Hogan. What number does Hogan come in at?
Hogan's maybe a wee bit later as well. He's about 25.
25.
He's fresh.
Yeah.
And then we want to go with someone else. Oh, what am I talking about? Let's put Stone Cold in there. If we're going we're going for the big guns. And Stone Cold came in about number 15, I would say. 15. So Stone Cold's been in there a good while.
Okay, so the final 4 in the Royal Rumble at Wembley is Jock Scotland, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes, baby.
Who's out first?
I think Hogan.
Hogan's out. All team up to get rid of Hogan.
I think a mistimed super kick.
Nice.
Meant for me.
Nice.
Takes out Hogan.
Bang. Gone. Hogan's out of there.
Hogan's out.
Furious.
Yeah, he is livid. Yeah. Livid. But also getting booed out of the building because it's Wembley. And everyone's kind of like, fuck you, Hogan. Fuck you, Hogan.
It's you, Michaels, Stone Cold. Who's next?
Yeah. So I think I brutalize these two a bit. Nice. Chuck them about.
The number 2 entrant is bullying these guys.
Yeah, chuck them about. Particularly Michaels.
Yeah.
But I missed time. I throw into an Irish whip into the ropes. Austin leapfrogs over me, stunners me. Oh. I'm out. I'm limp. I'm out.
Done. Starfish. Gone.
Yeah. So it's him and Michaels. They bravely come to their feet, meet in the middle of the ring. 1 punch, 2 punch, 1 punch, 2 punch. It gets rapid. They keep going for it. Finally, Michaels goes for a super kick, misses, tastes a stunner. He is out of there.
Oh, Michaels gone.
So just for that brief second, you're like, yes, Stone Cold. Jock comes to his feet.
Whoa.
Jock comes to his feet, and poor Austin literally grabs him by the neck, and just hurls him out because he's bigger, he's stronger, and can take a hiding. And Austin is out, and the place goes mental. Half in a good way, half in a bad way.
Do you point at the WrestleMania sign?
Well, I guess in certain generations they didn't. I think what I start doing is I point at the sign from the top of the commentary table, and then I start smashing up ringside. Start mashing up ringside, constantly screaming, "This is all mine now! This is all mine!"
Nice.
Michael Cole chasing about his chair.
Shut up.
Come here, Michael. I just want to talk to you.
That's very funny. Very, very funny. You come out Monday Night Raw after the Royal Rumble. We all want to know, what title is Jock Scotland going for, and who is he facing? Which belt do you go for?
Wow, well, it's the big one, isn't it? It's and not knowing who the titles are in this fantasy universe, but I'm coming out and I've all the respect in the world for our current world heavyweight champion over on Monday Night Raw. Everybody wants to take down the dead man at
Taker.
Mania.
Taker. And does Taker have Winged Eagle?
Taker's got Winged Eagle.
There we go. Okay,
He's
so
definitely got Winged Eagle.
you're going for the Winged Eagle against Taker.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Winged Eagle. Now, I'll be honest, The Undertaker sees you as a bit of a joke. He doesn't see you as a wrestler, he just sees you as a bit of a thug. He thinks he's not scared by you. He's got the streak. In this world, in this world, his streak's never been defeated.
Never
He's
once.
undefeated. Never once. Are you going to be the guy? He doesn't think so. So he's that confident. He's going to let you choose the stipulation of the match. What's it going to be?
Well, we all know his speciality.
The porridge in a cage match.
We all know the speciality. But I think we are going to have the first ever WWE death match.
Death match.
I think we're having barbed wire.
Oh,
I think we're having all this. And it's like, you might think I'm a joke in a wrestling ring, Taker, but you know that this match is more dangerous than anything else. And if you don't recognize the threat, that makes Jock very happy. Because it's going to be all the sweeter when I paint the arena with your blood and send all your creature of the night going home with more trauma than could be in the back of an ambulance. I'll see you on April 1st.
Taker accepts. Do you win?
Well, here's the thing. We Scots live on our bitterness.
Yes, very true.
We live in our hatred. And I'm a massive Taker mark. So I think despite my very best efforts, I do not win the World's Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania.
So close yet so far.
So close.
Are we going to have you're over him, but the ref's down and can't count, so you could have won it? Is that going to happen?
Our special guest referee, Burt Reynolds, sadly gets knocked out.
So you lose the title at Mania. Scotland's heartbroken. Our last king of Scotland, he could have done it. Ah, well, never mind.
But I walk out by the power of my own two legs.
Just about.
And yeah, just about. On a Monday Night Raw the next day, when the gloating Shawn Michaels comes out to taunt me that I did not beat the Taker for Mania. Well, there's always another title I can go after, Sean.
Oh.
Why don't I go after yours? There we go.
Sets up Mania next year.
SummerSlam. I'm going for SummerSlam.
You're taking it. Fine, you win it at SummerSlam. How long do you hold the title for?
I think at some point, Jock, maybe he's slightly facey at this time. Maybe he's become a bit of a face at this time. But I think he loses it. I think he loses it in Mania. I think he's got to lose it.
Who do you comp it to?
It would be New Blood, wouldn't it? So there's a young guy just come into the biz, doing very well, getting very popular. CM Punk or something, I think his name is. Although Jock constantly refers to him as Spunk.
We're looking at the end of your career, Jock. Yes. We're very proud of you, but are you fired or are you retired?
I think the way Jock wrestles, he is maybe one of the few people that, despite a big money offer to keep going from AEW to then jump off a cage and break your leg almost from the tip of your toe to your fucking hip, Adam. Fucking idiot. Shouldn't be doing that when you're 20, let alone when you're fucking 50. I get the feeling Jock retires. He get all the monsoons this. Maybe he makes his way to the commentary booth. Or something. I think he needs to go the Piper route.
I like it.
But the big hulking presence at ringside, Who knows?
You never know.
Maybe one more match. Maybe
Is he
one
going to be
more
one of
match.
those guys that when he turns up for a return and people go, "Oh, something's going to get broken. This is what's happening."
Yeah, could be one of those things. Could be one of those things.
I like
I don't think he's making a cameo at the Rumble or anything like that. I think he's only coming back for a storyline and being realistic. Like, I mean, he's always Roddy Piper's fantastic line. I may, hey, I might have lost a step, but I can still dance and I know all the moves.
Nice. Love it. Are you a serious contender for the Hall of Fame, or do you become a forgotten legend?
Oh man, well, do you know I'm in good company if I'm not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So Jock cannot go in until William Regal's in.
Yeah.
Jock can't go in until the Hardys are in.
Yeah.
So it's a real hard one. I think if Mania ever comes to the UK, Jock can be put in the Hall of Fame.
Jock's in. Who inducts him?
Roddy Piper.
Piper. Nice.
Gotta be Roddy Piper.
Piper inducts you in.
Yeah. Well, not Drew, who would be livid hearing this.
Well, Jock Scotland, I'm going to wish you well on your future endeavours. Billy Kirkwood, thank you so much for coming on to What's Your Gimmick?
Thank you very much. It's been a delight. Okay.
And there you have it, my friends. There is the most recent episode of What's Your Gimmick. Thank you so much for downloading and listening to this podcast. I really enjoyed doing it, and I hope you really enjoy listening to it. If you do, please give us a subscribe, tell your friends about it, and if you really want to, please give us 5 stars. That really helps other people finding the podcast. Until next time, my friends, see you soon.
Masks and capes are all the same. Heels and faces play the game. I'll drive her heartbeats claim. Cow will put you in the frame. What's your gimmick? Let it show. GG wants to know. In the spotlight, let it flow. Cal Howard steal the show. Talk the talk and walk the walk. Give the crowd the wrestling shock. Turnbuckle dreams in concrete chalk. Gene will let the secrets unlock. What's your gimmick? Field of fire. Cut a promo, lift you higher. Genie fuels the desire. Cal's your guide through the wire. What's your gimmick? Let it show. Genie wants to know. In the spotlight, let it flow. Cal Howard steal the show. What's your gimmick? Let it show. Genie wants to know. In the spotlight, let it flow. Cal Howard steal the show.
You've been listening to a Calvert Media production.